All right, team. We are here with Daniel Delby and Cameron Branch.
Hello.
Just us two today. We're doing a bit of a listener special, a good themed special.
Yes.
Before we kick off what they were, we are proudly brought to you by alltradescover.com.au. If you have a small business or are a tradie that needs some insurance coverage, I can't give you any specific examples.
Why can't you give us an example?
Because it is illegal, apparently.
I see.
So if you want to compare your insurance or hit them up or start joining the community that we're building, alltradescover.com.au will sort you out. We have lots of listeners that are joining. So thank you.
Love it.
And thank you, Mr. Elliott.
I love it. This episode's also brought to you by Kahuna Golf. And you look really good, Daniel.
Yeah, well, this is my Blade hoodie. So I fucking look good, feel good.
I've been using this hoodie.
Sexually?
Just running.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, just running everything.
Hoodie's so good. You want to put your dick in it.
And it's that
stretchy.
Like for anyone who loves golf, and because in winter sometimes it's too cold
Or too sweaty.
Yeah, and you need that perfect one.
Yeah.
This is ended up just how serendipitous. I was looking for one, and he said, "Oh, I'm doing these hoodies."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
So we went and played golf with Jimmy from Kahuna Golf on Friday. So we've got some clips out.
I feel like Speedos. They're elastic.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please jump on our YouTube and subscribe. It's really going to help us in the future. Even if you want to help us out by subscribing, just press play on some episodes.
Yeah.
And just let it run in the background. That will get our hours up.
We have a Hard Yarns code for Kahuna. It is Hard Yarns 15, and it's also the end of financial year sales for Kahuna. So get on board. And this episode's also brought to you by Sir Henry's Raunchy and Squealing Pig, basically all in one. If you want to get down every Thursday night.
Cool.
We're there.
Today we discussed the movie Inside Out 2, which led to us discussing our beliefs and morals.
Yes.
And how to instill beliefs in
love that.
future children and generations, and some strategies and techniques that I used as a teacher.
And it's a good precursor to next episode. It's with a guy who's going to be talking about limiting self-belief. So that's great.
We touched on very briefly a little bit of Trump stuff and what's going on.
Oh, yep. We're going to touch on that further with Corey next week or the week after.
And then we had a few Reddit readouts, some therapy bombshells with Wolfey called up halfway and dropped some absolute nuggets of wisdom.
Oh, didn't he just?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then finished with what men can't get enough of from women.
Yes. Had some listeners' stories, some voice notes, and some listeners' ghost story messages as well. So it's a bit of everything.
We've read them out today, and we're going to read some out with Cam McLaren, and we're just going to continue to read out all the listener stuff.
It's too many listeners. It's good. I wasn't expecting there to be so many listeners reaching out all the time. So it's actually, when they're like, "Oh, we can't keep up with it," you can't. There's too many. There's thousands of messages and comments. So
if you want a guaranteed readout, you could join the Patreon. For just $5 a month.
That's a fucking good segue, and that's a good point. Yeah, if you're a Patreon and you message us on Patreon, we will 1,000% read it out, and it's only $5 a month.
That's right,
and
more. I mean, you can donate more.
Yeah, you can.
But
and you get a T-shirt if you go to the highest one. T-shirt if you go to the second one as well. You get stickers, coffee mugs.
We have lost a sponsor, so we've got a few $100s to make up for rent. So,
yep.
But you also get ad-free episodes, so that'll go up. You get bonus episodes.
Perfect.
Lots of cool stuff.
Love it.
I'm off to play golf wearing my Kahuna Blade hoodie.
Love it.
Let's get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
3. Just to be sure.
3 spikes.
Classic.
Just like a nightclub in Miami. 3 spikes and we're good to go.
Classic.
So, listeners, this episode is brought to you today by Branchy and Delby, deciding to do a listener-based episode. So if you've written to our story, we are going to read out some of your messages and a couple of stories at the end of the episode.
Yes.
But also, we're saving a few of the ghost stories from listeners for next week with Cam McLaren. We're going to do some conspiracies and some Matrix and stuff.
Yeah, I do love a good conspiracy episode with Cam. His episodes are always my favourite.
Yeah.
It's like it's Lent. It's just come back to that.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It's what I always loved doing.
Yeah.
And now it seems like this seems to be the perfect way to get comedians on every week.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
And you guys and people that I want to still listen to them.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So we'll start with a listener
Voice note.
and it's sent from Scottish comedian
Grant Mushet.
ex-housemate of mine, Grant Mushet. So it's good to see our reach is extending to the zeitgeist.
Yes. So no one
voice noted?
Basically, no one's comfortable getting their voice in. But we do have a few voice notes on TikTok, but yeah.
Have you listened to them?
Yeah.
Are they just crazy people?
Some people like, yeah.
Are they just like, there is only one true God?
Yeah. No, they're
given
like,
to Jesus.
it's just, yeah.
It's funny how quickly people turn a non-religious subject into religion.
Yeah. People find it is a point of difference, voice noting.
Yeah.
I do listen to them.
I like
Instead
it.
of sometimes you just skip through the message.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I like watching a pod where they're listening to somebody's message.
100%.
It's enjoyable.
I am keen on doing and maybe we can potentially do this still, is like in this episode, go live on Instagram. It'll be hooked up so you'll be able to hear them.
Yeah.
Maybe we can see if anyone wants to join on live. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, everything that we do as a trial will be a Patreon. So have we put up Wolfey's Patreon app?
No. Yes.
Squealing Pig one?
Yes, I think so.
Cool. So there is
I think they're... Let me confirm, but I'm pretty certain it's up.
We need feedback from our Patreons. There is a pilot episode of a new podcast called Sausage Factory that may or may not survive.
It'll survive.
But
it's just fucking annoying.
It's us working on new material, and then you can see it performed at Squealing Pig.
On that, Squealing Pig opened last week, and
not that you'd know about it if you follow Wolfey.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good night. It went really well. We had probably about 30 in total, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is great. With lack of effort, to try and get people in. I think through Wolfey's fear that it wasn't going to be great, so he just wants it to build slowly. But
you can't live life with fear, bro.
No, it's got to be.
I need to have a word to that man.
Yeah. So
we should call him later in the app. I go, Wolfey, you dog.
He'll be erratic. yeah. Give him a call.
Just see what he thinks of it. Get his opinion.
That's a good point. But it was good. It's good fun. Got the setup of the structure of the show for tomorrow night much better.
Yep.
I'm happy now because last week it was just a room.
Yeah.
Which is just the same as every other comedy room.
That's right.
So I wanted to have a point of difference. So now we've got a bit of the fun stuff, which I'm looking forward to. And
what time does it kick off? 7:30 for an 8 o'clock start?
7:30. Yeah, 7:30 start.
Right.
But the one thing I need to figure out is the room setup.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fan of that door there.
Yeah, well then I reckon you literally just close it. If someone's going to walk into the pub and you just put entrance that way, they will take 10 steps.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree.
It's not like you go to walk in and go, fuck, it's too far.
Yeah.
So you open the side gate
and
just have a sign.
Yep.
Entry that way.
People were in the beer garden, so it's good. It's first night, and it was slowly going to build over time, but I'm happy with the first night. But it definitely has to, there's things I want to change and improve. But we'll get that going. And once all the fucking shit fighting and not shit fighting, the fiddly stuff at the start is sort of worked out.
Children.
So finally got the ticketing all sorted. That's set up for the next 28 weeks straight.
Awesome.
So I don't have to worry about it. The events now repeat, so I don't have to remake it. It duplicates and it does it by itself. The marketing is going by itself now.
Cool.
So now it's just getting the right people on and just figuring out the room setup and the structure of the show perfectly. But I think within about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll have that set up nice.
Yeah.
And then we can really push, and then I'll ask my friends to come. I had a few friends come, but I haven't really asked my friends properly to come. I've just gone, hey, I'm opening a room.
Yeah.
So
well, they'll only come once, so
that's what I mean. Yeah. So I'll do a full push properly in 2 or 3 weeks once I'm happy.
It's like me having sex.
But yeah, it's good.
You only come once with a full push properly.
Classic. Let's start with Mush's voice note because it's a while. It's got 3. He's got 3 voice notes and then a follow up.
All right.
Okay. So all right, here we go.
I can subtitle this if we need.
Okay, here we go.
Hard Johners, I've got an ancient Chinese proverb for you. A man who runs from his problems is scared. A man who runs in the morning is healthy. Mm-hmm. And a man who runs with an egg in his hand is a genius. I'll give you a bit of a backstory as to how this came about. I've been doing a bit of running, trying to keep healthy, and I realised on my nightly runs that people would try and scare me. They'd lean out the windows of the car, they'd give me a fright, they'd beep the horn, they'd call me a bit of a dickhead, all that kind of jazz, trying to scare me. So what I started doing was...
It's because he lives in Rockingham.
I started running with an egg in my hand.
Okay. So this is 3-part message.
This is great because you already know it's not an ancient Chinese proverb. This is a recent Scottish Australian mush proverb because he lives in Rockingham. Well, do you want to predict where this is going? I'm going to predict.
Did I listen? I did listen.
All right, I'm just going to predict that he's running with an egg in hand. He's a genius because the people in the cars will not give him shit because they know he could egg their cars. So he lives in a dodgy area for people not from Perth.
Yes.
So
you're on the right
onward,
path.
as the Yvonne would say, onward.
Onward.
So I'm running along the road, egg in hand. One of these miscreants leans out the window, gives me a fright, and I use the fright as almost a springboard to jump myself up and launch my missile and initiate the target. I've hit 3 marks out of about 10 launches, which is, 1 in 3, not a bad record considering the distance they achieve when they're going 80 kilometres an hour. And I've ran past a couple of people who messed with the wrong man. And as I've ran past them and they're trying to figure out what's happened, they're looking at an egg on the side of their car like, how did egg get here? Did I just get instant karma for scaring a poor runner by some randoms in the bush who are throwing eggs at cars? And I run past smiling, man.
Okay, next one.
And I've had a couple of people who have looked at me as if to say, did you throw egg on my car? And I'm going to be honest, I think in that instant, they think about asking the question and they go, I'm not going to ask questions of a man who's running with an egg in his hand.
It's a bit of a tactic.
Yeah, who would think that it was a guy running with an egg?
Yeah, exactly. Or why would you even think about, if you see a man running with an egg, you're like, I'm probably not going to talk to this person.
Yeah.
I think is his tactic. But I haven't listened to this final follow-up.
What came first, the runner or the egg?
Okay. I'm excited to hear this one.
What if it's...
Yeah, g'day guys, Steve Watson here from Watson & Watson Legal down in Applecross. I wanted to phone in today, just say, how's it going? I love the Hard Yarns podcast. Been watching you boys for years. It's tremendous stuff what you're doing. It really is. Look, I wanted to talk today about something that's a bit of an epidemic in Perth right now, something that's growing in massive numbers. I've been a lawyer in Perth for 25 years now and I've never seen anything like it. In the last 3 years alone, in the last 3 weeks alone, I have seen the rate of car crashes go up through the roof. I've had 3 clients come see me and say that their car crash particularly was started when they were egged from the side of the road. Somebody's on the side of the road throwing eggs at cars, causing car crashes, and my numbers are going through the roof.
That didn't sound Scottish. That's good. I like that. That's good.
So,
thanks, Mush.
Thanks, Mush. And Watto, I think.
What is his name?
I think it was Watto from Watson Lawyers or something.
Yeah, g'day guys, Steve Watson here from Watson & Watson Legal down in Applecross. I wanted to phone in today, just say...
From Watson & Watson Legal in Applecross.
Let me tell you a fact there, Mr. Steve Watson. Nobody that's been egged in Rockingham is getting a lawyer from Applecross. There is no way you're getting business from Applecross. From Rockingham, mate. So, but...
That's good.
Thanks for the call.
I like that. Thank you for that, Mark.
Right.
Watson.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed that, you can see more of that comedy from Grant Mushet at Live Lounge in Wanneroo.
Oh, yes.
He's going to be doing a show that I've named for him, FIFO Daddy.
Yeah.
So that'll be July the 26th, Friday, $25 a ticket.
Nice.
Awesome new venue.
That show. I'm there on next Friday, huh?
Yeah.
Next Friday. Yeah, 28th.
Should
That'd
be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Is that one? Is that the venue that's like?
It's the old Hog's Breath in Wanneroo.
I don't remember there being a Hog's Breath.
It's the old Wanneroo. Wanneroo. So, you know, Red Dot and the shopping centre?
Yeah.
You know the bit that pops out?
Yeah.
If you were to enter the shops.
Oh, that's where... Yeah.
That corner one.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Oh, right at the entrance of the shopping centre. Sick.
Yeah, the space they've got for entertainment is sick.
Yeah. I've been there, yeah. Oh, sick.
Yeah, really cool.
Oh, fuck yeah. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Exciting.
The guy that owns it is Scottish.
Okay, cool.
So...
Sick.
But
before
we kick off, I've got a few cool topics for today.
Oh, yeah, go on.
But last night I went and watched Inside Out 2.
Oh, you messaged me that. Yeah, I was like half falling asleep and I was like...
Masterpiece.
Cool. Really?
Masterpiece.
Because Inside Out 1...
Again, another masterpiece. One of my favourite movies.
Inside Out 1 was like heartbreaking. Not heartbreaking,
I
but
cried a little in Inside Out 1.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
I had a tear, but I was with a girl, so I just didn't blink. It was sitting on my left eyelid, and I went to talk. I was like, ugh, and I was like, oh, popcorn.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it is fucking brilliant, man. I cannot express how clever. When I watched Inside Out 1, I was like, this is so fucking smart. And I had this inkling. I was like, there has to be a number 2. Just because at the end, when she started to become a teenager and disgusted, then you saw the parents' emotions as well.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I was praying, man. And I've manifested. There is a number 2. But it took, I think, 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
It is so well written and so fucking clever.
So, like, as in...
So she's going from
still
12... It is... But it's not. It's for adults.
I love how they make all kids' movies a little bit adult now.
They are all for adults.
Yeah.
So it goes from 12. She's from 12 to 13. And I'm thinking, how can they improve on emotions? You know, how can they make that better? Fuck, man. Whoever the writers are, shout out. It goes from, you remember how she had the good memories and they'd store it. And, you know, that was, so as a kid, her emotions are in control.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This one, towards the end, she becomes in control of her emotions.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not just the emotions at the wheel.
Yeah.
Now, for that to happen, her memories start to form beliefs.
Oh.
Right? So the memories where they store, they start to grow a
like,
belief.
Wow.
And that belief starts to grow a sense of self. It's like, I'm just like, this is so fucking perfectly written. And even like for the person to have an idea, they're going through a brainstorm where all ideas are flying at them.
That's also...
And there's a sarcasm, but like, you know how there's a chasm when the world breaks apart?
Yeah.
Like it erupts and it's a sarcasm where she's learning sarcasm. It's so fucking clever, bro.
Was it you who told a story that was similar?
What about?
About the beliefs?
What your beliefs form?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Robbing the person of the belief? Was that maybe
Not sure. Could have been one of the sayings I read out, or like...
I think maybe it was a reel or something, and it was or maybe it was a comment. It might have been a comment from a listener saying that their parents... Oh, I think it was, actually. It was a voice note, potentially. I've missed that somewhere. But it was a voice note of someone saying that the parents were actually apologising from the beyond the grave to their child, saying, we kept on telling you as a child, don't cry for that. It's not how you should act. Or we act like this in this situation. Blah, blah, blah. Basically creating her belief system instead of letting her find her own belief system.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they were apologising for making her who she is.
Right.
And that to trust her own gut, basically.
Well, that's essentially the plot of Inside Out 2.
Yeah, let yourself form your own belief systems and your own
Well, you need all your
own identity.
Yeah, you need all your experiences to form your own belief system, to form beliefs, which will create your sense of self.
Because you are just a product of your environment, aren't you? Yeah. Really, like if the people around you, they're the ones who mold your belief system, like your parents.
Correct.
So how do you? This is a good, interesting topic then, because I'm a parent and I'm going through this at the moment.
Yeah.
How do you then let them find themselves whilst still trying to guide them?
Well,
as a teacher, I'm interested.
You can't. You have to lay out the facts, and you have to just literally promote discussion and try and encourage original ideas. The best way you can teach somebody something is to have them come up with the idea. So one of our consequence techniques that you use as a teacher is called an informal contract. It's super basic, but instead of me putting the punishment onto you, let's say you've spoken to me disrespectfully, I've given you a warning, you do it again, and then you leave class without permission. Yeah. Right? Any good teacher worth their salt will let another teacher know, hey, this kid's gone. Not like blow up. You go, oh, cool. If you choose to do that, you'll have to deal with the consequences. You always say that before they leave. And then when they leave, you go, right, guys, Steve's chosen to leave. That's fine. I'm going to follow that up and make sure that there's a consequence later. You're not allowed to do that. You can't just do that in my class, Okay. Because now I don't know where he is. He could be in trouble. He could be in danger. He'd be in danger to someone else. You let another staff member know, they look out for him, right? But the follow-up for that is I would always go and grab them when I had my DOT, which stands for duties other than teaching, which I thought it was just a free hour when I first started. But turns out you have to do everything else. So I would look at the kids' timetable and, maths teachers, I would find when they had maths or English, a subject I knew that they didn't like, I would go over and go, so sorry, Mrs. Smith, can I please speak to Steve? And I'd take Steve out. So straight away, I've already won him over. I go, hey, mate, I know you're doing maths and maths can be boring or English. So I thought I'd give you a little break from that. Already win him over. Cool. Then you go, why do you think I'm talking to you? Not, I'm here to talk to you about you leaving. They'll go, oh, because I was rude. I left the classroom without permission. And I go, why do you think I make sure that everyone's in class?
So you're leading them towards...
You lead them and they will formulate it themselves, much more powerful than me going, you left class without permission. How do you think that? I don't know. So I would get them, they frame everything. They go, I go, as a teacher, why do you think it's important for me to have all the kids around? And they'll be like, oh, because, you're responsible for us. We have to learn, get an education.
Because you know the answers.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But when they're saying it, this is helping them cognitively come up with their own belief system, their own moral compass. They are starting to actually think critically about what they've done rather than me tell them. So the point about this is I'm guiding them, right? I'm not telling them. They're creating it themselves. But the big kicker, and it's kind of it's a really strange phenomenon, and it will happen with adults as well. I'll go, all right, Steve, so obviously I can't let you get away with that. Because if I let you do that, then everyone else is going to do it. And I can't have that because I need respect in my classroom. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what can I do to help you not do it? So he'll go, I might just give me a warning or tap. Yeah, but I did give you a warning, do you remember? Yeah, okay. That's fine, we can give you a warning, but what's one more thing that I show that you understand? And he'll go, I'll just come and touch my desk or name on the board or something. I'll go, okay, yeah, no worries, we can do that. Why don't we make it a little less subtle so no one else knows, Yeah. So winning over. And then the big one is, all right, if this happens again, what consequence am I going to imply on you? And they'll go, a week of detentions. They always punish themselves way worse. Yeah. You will always punish yourself way worse than anybody else will want to punish you. The kids will be like, no lunch for a week. Yeah. And you go, no, we don't. Come on, man. That's a bit too intense. Yeah. Or sit by myself. No, we don't want to do that. You go, what's something else? And then they'll give a few options. And then you go, okay, cool. The kid understands. And you always make it just a little bit less. Or you go, instead of a week of lunches, let's make it 4 lunches or 2 lunches or just 1 lunch. Yeah. But if you do it again, what happens? Yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah. And you're like, no, so they're forming their own belief. They're creating it. I'm leading them there without telling them. So that's one way you would do it with your kid. Yeah. If you've got a belief system, you go, okay, you see someone getting beat up. How do you think that kid feels? They'll put themselves in that kid's shoe. What do you think? Why do you think the person that's bullying them, what are they doing? So they'll start formulating their ideas and beliefs, and you don't have to go, oh, the bully's got problems at home. Yeah. They'll come up with it. And then that will start
that's a really
cementing.
You're going to be a good dad, Daniel. I think that's a really good idea because it is You are a product of your environment, and generally it's because your parents go, hey, this is how we act in these certain scenarios.
Yeah.
But like, I'll still instill my daughter with certain values and like ideas, but to a point when she can start really formulating her own ideas and responses.
When they're young, I think you would just go, we don't do this because daddy's feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, or we don't do this because it's really mean and makes mum upset.
Yeah, but once they're old enough
they should be able to tell you back. And then, I think that's the way you help build a belief system.
It's interesting because at the moment, like Scotty's, her development is going pretty well. It's still a little challenging at times.
Yeah, she did tell you to shut up when you're on the phone to me.
Yeah, shush, daddy, be quiet. The communication is difficult.
Yeah.
Still, it's getting better. It's improving.
Yeah.
So I can see we're starting to able to have these like, why did you act like that?
Yeah.
I was feeling angry and frustrated. Okay,
Yeah,
what do we do when we're angry and frustrated? We breathe.
Yeah.
We walk away. We have a drink. We tell the teacher stuff like that.
Punch cunts.
Yeah. So that's what she's been doing, pushing and stuff like that. So,
well, I always remember something, and this is probably, I think I was just blessed with my mum. I looked forward to it. Sometimes I was like, I've got mum.
Yeah.
After school, she would have recorded Dr. Phil or Oprah.
Yeah.
Especially if she enjoyed it, and it was a good one. And she'd sit us down as me and my two brothers would sit there. She'd show us the episode and would discuss, what we thought, what would we do in this situation.
I like that.
So from when we were like 10 years old, we were watching kids that would be getting bullied, and mum would be like, what would you do in this situation? What do you think the right move is? How is that kid feeling? So we grew up with a strong sense of justice, and like if someone was getting bullied, I remember at school, me and my brother Chris would, if we saw people picking on the nerds, we'd fucking pick on them because I was huge at school. I was a big cunt.
Yeah, you were the same size you are now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would I remember specifically holding people up against the wall, literally bullying a bully, but I didn't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
So, but I think a lot of open discussions, and ultimately, you just got to pray that you've got good parents, man.
Yeah, the parents is definitely a thing, but you have to hope that they've been raised correct.
Yeah.
And I think we all can improve. Like, I see there's things in my parents that I still instill, and I'm like, move away from that stuff. Look, it's not all bad. Like, there's fucking incredible things that I've got from my parents, but there's some things I don't like.
Yeah.
Some attitudes. So
I always think, about it because I'm really lucky that my mum was who she is. Because with my dad, he can't formulate. Like, he would just yell. When we'd go to his house, he'd lock us outside and be like, go out, and we'd be like, we go play. We're like, we played for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I bought your trampoline. I'm like, we've been on it since fucking 7. We just want to see you, we just want to hang out.
Yeah.
We'd fucking be locked outside for 8 hours.
Do you think that's you get the balance though with that? Like the
that's full yin and yang.
Yeah, it's like yin and yang.
Yeah. But I guess like building beliefs, that's where
Who'd have
their
thought?
friendship groups are huge.
Who'd have thought it'd be Dr. Phil who would get young men thinking certain ways?
Well, Dr. Phil, Oprah, Ricky Grace, not Ricky Grace,
Ricky Lake.
Ricky Grace was the wildcat.
Ricky Grace, yeah.
But again, like your friendship group's massive. You're spending 6 hours a day, 5 times a week, and then afterwards with kids from school, your teachers, if they're good, they can instill some stuff on you. But I think a lot of the time, kids will form their beliefs based off their own experience.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly being shat on, or as
that's
a
the thing,
teenager,
you can't control what's
you can't.
happening all the time around them.
No.
You can do what you can help with that at home. But once they're at school and they're around all these other people filling them with their own ideas and concepts, what are you meant to do? Tell them it's wrong? I don't think that's the best way.
Yeah.
But maybe there is. We're like, I don't know. Maybe rethink it. Maybe it is lead them.
It's just so every teenager and kid just wants to feel safe. And if they don't feel safe, then their prefrontal cortex is fucking on fire with that fight or flight, and you can't have that logical reasoning in. But as an adult, you need to understand that. So,
that's very insightful, Daniel.
Well,
I like that.
Well, when we were speaking to boxer
Wes,
not Wes, Lacey's. Fuck, his past guest, like only three weeks ago.
Jagger.
When we're speaking to Jagger, like hearing what he was going to, that's a whole different scenario to what I grew up with, man. I got mum showing me Oprah. He's fucking running away from random cars, hoping they don't steal him.
Yeah.
You know, so, but he's, fuck, it still blows my mind. Mum listened to that episode. She was like, he was an incredible man. I was like, how, for 25, so much wisdom. And for somebody to be that resilient and emotionally intelligent as a teenager, and the way he was explaining how he dealt with things, it's so rare. He was so lucky. So
I do like Jags. He's very positive.
yeah.
And sometimes, like, when I used to go to the lessons, you'd be like, is he putting this on to get you up and about?
Yeah.
But you soon learn, like, that's just him.
Yeah.
He's just an up and about sort of guy.
But
Speaking of Dr. Phil, actually, before you got some topics there.
well,
But
one of these leads really nicely into it. But I think I know where you're going with Dr. Phil. Maybe.
Dr. Phil with the Trump interview.
That's
That
right.
fucking
Cool.
actually.
Back to here.
Well, that actually was incredible.
Is that from ages ago? Or is that recent?
Nah, just recent.
So I think you showed me a clip.
Yeah. Well, that clip that I sent you was really good, where he was talking about the response to, like, so Hillary Clinton should have been put in jail, but he was like, what's that going to do to the country? It's not going to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
And how bad would it look if
I could have done it.
Yeah, yeah.
She could have been away.
Yeah. Well, she literally, she
tried to do it to him.
acid washed emails after being subpoenaed. Like
That means acid wash means that she got the hardware and just poured acid on a computer.
I don't know the technical jargon, but basically you can't find those emails anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, what was in those emails that you had to protect them that well? But
insane.
anyway, regardless,
And what dumb cunt is writing shit on emails like,
I know.
they'll never know that we have
Insecure.
children in the pizza shop. Like,
Yeah,
you've got it in writing on the net, and you've got guys like Zero, what's his name, who follows us now, or who liked Zero Day.
Oh yeah,
Like who he was, you know who I'm talking about, the
yeah,
ethical hacker.
Yeah.
You got guys like him
Yeah.
that can fucking hack you from, like, you know, a Burger King.
Yeah.
And she's writing emails that are going to be intercepted.
Ridiculous. But it seems to be that interview has really, I think,
Humanized?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's given people the concept of a bit of an understanding behind, like, what sort of person he is.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, I definitely still think he is a narcissist.
Yeah, I didn't. I loved Dr. Phil talking about revenge as eventually someone has to go, I don't need revenge. I have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And that's really hard.
Yeah.
But at one point, if you're going to bring everyone together, and Trump was saying the best revenge is success. And I guess that is, to a point, still revenge, and not talk about it revenge. Just say, I don't care about revenge. I just want the country to be the best.
Yeah.
And one thing is clear is that Biden is not the best candidate. I'm not.
He's never been the best candidate.
No. And I'm not for a second suggesting that the best person that could run the United States of America is Donald Trump. But
He'd
is
do a
the
bloody better job.
He's a better option.
Some of his
very
policies-
clearly a better option.
How many of his policies do you think, we won't talk about this too long, listeners, but how many of your policies of his things that he says he's going to do will he actually do, and how many of it do you think is just to try to get people on side?
Well, it just depends on what he can, because he can try to do as many things as he wants, but you still have to...
But his track record was pretty good, hey? He did what he said. The thing where he said, I'm not going to tax people on tips.
I don't know. So
he made a statement that, you know, Americans, they got minimum wage and then tips.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to do an income tax on tips.
He's...
So I think that's a good way to get your voters on side.
He's toying with the idea of getting rid of
income tax
full stop.
I don't know where's he going to get the money from.
I think it was
defense.
With some sort of tariff, general like a tariff. I can't remember.
Well, it makes sense. They've got the biggest economy in the world, which I learnt from the quiz night the other night. $27 trillion.
Yeah.
But they're still in debt, like $100 trillion. But
yeah,
some of the stuff he says is pretty outlandish, like getting the money back from Ukraine. I don't know how you do that. But like one of the things he said that he was going to do, which I wasn't too sure about, like he said a lot of the stuff about taking away gender affirming in teens and things. I think that is all legit. Like there's better ways to spend money. Sorry, people, to be outlandish. But there was one where he's going to, you sent it to me today. He's going to put money into drafting into the military.
Into the military.
Draft.
Yeah.
And there was one more thing he said that I was like, oh, that's a little bit.
I think he understands that their military is their strength.
Right.
In which, in order to be able to, at least, because sometimes the fear of the potential is just enough, you know?
I'll play the audio.
Okay.
Oh, no, fuck, that's Iran.
Oh, the Iran thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iran thing was interesting, how they communicated with him early, suggesting that, what they say with that one?
That they were going to bomb. They needed to.
We're telling you, don't attack us back. We are going to miss you on purpose.
Yeah.
This is just a show of strength.
Oh, fuck, this is a full glitch in the Matrix. I'm sure you sent me
potentially
Trump's policies that he was going to put
in.
Unless
it's been maybe on TikTok.
Yeah, actually, it could be that. Yeah.
Would have been on TikTok.
Two of them, I was like, oh, fuck. You know, I used to think all of his policies were great ideas.
Yeah.
But one of them's pretty fucked, eh? I was like...
potentially find it.
I think this is it.
The first 15 promises he has made if he is reelected. First, he promises that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in history.
Which I think is good for
the
them.
death sentence for anyone convicted of human trafficking.
I think that's fair.
Prayer back into school, and he will criminalize any race-based.
So he said he'll put prayer back into school. I'm not sure that religion belongs in a classroom.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's more so that prayer's been banned.
Okay, yeah.
So
you should be allowed to.
Yes.
But that means that you should be allowed all faith denominations to do prayer.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that even though I've met God, I just don't think religion and education, like I think they should be a separate entity.
Yeah.
Especially if your family.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You shouldn't be forced at school.
No, that's true. But he's a God man, so he's clearly going with his.
Is he, or is he just doing that to get the votes?
No, he's a God man. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. He's a fucking.
So he said any race-based advantage programs. I tend to kind of agree with that.
He's more because that's the equity argument.
It should be the best person for the job.
Correct.
But there should still be input from all different aspects of society.
Equality of opportunity.
Yeah.
Gender-affirming care for adults and children, and he will ban any federal dollars from going towards gender-affirming care.
I think that's probably fair for federal.
Yes.
I still think there should be some... If you're an adult and you've gone through puberty and you're still feeling that way, then maybe... But it should be... I think... I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but maybe you either have health insurance for that or out of your own pocket, not from the federal. Yeah. I'm not sure. They might be the same things, but...
Increase the penalties for underage criminal offenders.
That was the one.
Increase the
penalties for underage criminals, underage offenders. I don't think that's... I don't think there's benefit to that anywhere. It should be increase rehab programs or increase...
Yeah, it's very broad term as well, so education. I don't know what it would mean by that, but also the freedom in which criminals are just given the license to do whatever they want now in America is pretty fucking horrific.
Well, it depends on the state, right? Because there's still more incarcerated people there than anywhere.
Correct. And immunity for police officers and deploy
strengthen immunity for police officers. Mm-hmm. I think it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. You should be held to account.
Yeah.
And the decisions they have to make every day under pressure is insane. But
things need to be factored in with that. It can't just be like,
employ the National Guard to patrol woke cities.
Now,
that's fucking incredible.
Now, I don't know. The wording of that is very like patrol woke cities. Like,
what are you gonna do? Go to San Fran?
Yeah, and just be like, "Are you fucking gay? Are you trans? Are you selling drugs?" Yeah.
That's weird.
He will push Congress to pass legislation that would give every American the right to concealed carry anywhere at any time. He will demand that Europe pay back all the money we gave Ukraine, and then he will use all of that money to recruit for the American military.
Now, I find the concealed carry stuff, I need to do enough research myself. Logic suggests...
Bro, they fucking had a mass shooting at a kid's water park playground the other day.
Just do some background checks.
Change the amendment.
Yeah.
An amendment means you've amended something. And they're like, you can't change the amendment.
Yeah.
the word amendment
Yeah.
means something has been changed.
100%.
It doesn't make sense just because there's too much money in. If they're going to make that much money for the NRA and the guns and the defence, that money needs to be funneled into mental health care or things for young Americans to do,
Now-
opportunities so they don't shoot up a school.
Well, now 10 years ago, I'd be like, this is just the most obvious thing ever.
Yeah.
But now you're like, with seeing how the government just sort of did whatever they wanted for 3 years, there's also that part of you that goes, well, you sort of need a way to defend yourself. But then to a point.
Well, with the mandates and that.
Yeah. But to a point, what is a few people with some guns going to do against the government who has drones and fucking whatnot?
Yeah.
Nothing really. So look, if they really wanted to take over and be fucking real tyrannical government, they could, regardless of whether you had guns or not. Yeah. So I think background checks, minimum. Just background checks, surely.
Seems pretty obvious.
Surely.
And like automatic weapons you don't need an automatic weapon as a member of a public.
Yeah.
When would you ever need an automatic weapon unless you're in an army or in a war?
Yeah.
There is no logical need for it.
Yeah.
Even if you're hunting.
That's where
hunting is a skill and you want to take one shot. You don't want to fucking just go out with a.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm in agreement with that. Yeah. I don't think the semi-automatic.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a need for them.
And then, mate, I'll leave it on that. But the conspiracy
because
stuff
Corey's coming on, I think, next week or the week after,
cool.
so we can talk about that sort of stuff.
But that just feeds into the conspiracy that now that Biden has introduced legislation to have men conscripted from 18 to 25.
Oh, yes. That's fucking weird.
That feeds into the conspiracy that they're letting, and the rules are, if you're born a male,
oh, yeah,
you'll be drafted as a male.
Yes.
Which goes completely against all of American politics.
Yes.
So what the fuck's going on there? I would just love to see how many people start identifying as female to get out of conscription.
But it's due to what you were assigned at birth, hey?
Yeah. And then the conspiracy about letting all the immigrants in so they can use them in the army.
Mm-hmm.
They've specifically stated that if you're an immigrant, legal or undocumented, you will be conscripted. So that just feeds into...
So they're bringing back conscription, or they're trying to?
I think I saw that it was he's drafting legislation to do it. Or he's just implementing it. But that could be fake news.
It could be.
If it's not fake news, that's very interesting.
Mate, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
Did you see... I sent to you yesterday, Karine Jean-Pierre, literally... in the White House secretary.
Is that the black chick?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was a skit.
No, that was
fake.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the one that was the one that I sent you with her, that's fake.
Okay.
That's not.
I thought that was an SNL skit.
No, but so she was what's her name? Karine Jean-Pierre. She was asked at the White House as a press secretary about Joe Biden freezing up on stage, and she said, "This is just another deep fake."
Wow.
It's Joe Biden he freezes on stage, and Obama.
Is that because he shat himself?
Yeah, that one. I have seen those ones. They're deep fakes. They're just he didn't sit there and shit. There is actually one where
pause and it looks like
she gets rushed off with Macron.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Now potentially, who knows what that is? They don't know what that like. He just froze and just got rushed off basically. But this one, he's just frozen on stage, and Obama goes over and grabs him and sort of just starts bringing him off stage. It's not deep faked. That is an old man who's sort of like struggling to get through things. So
stupid. And if anyone's received dick pics from me, they're deep fakes too. Well, actually, they're not deep. They're thin fakes.
But again, I don't want to be like fakes. The whole like. I don't want to be the whole Trump thing because I truly believe that the best candidate to be
Robert F. Kennedy.
Well, Kennedy or Tulsi Gabbard are my two, like, they should be the ones running the country. But even if you have that conversation with people like, nah, it has to be Biden, you're like, oh, okay, well, what about, someone like a Tulsi Gabbard if you're someone who thinks there needs to be a woman in there or whatever. And then they'll be like, but their answer will always be like, oh, I don't even know who she is. And I was like, how can we have a conversation about who you think should be running
if you don't know them?
If you don't know who the other candidates are?
We'll save the rest of this for Corey, I think.
But they're formulating responses and just based on what, But the fact that the press secretary is just genuinely straight up lying to your face now.
Yeah.
And they've lost. They have lost the election with that last case. And yeah, we'll talk about that more with Corey
All right.
in a week or so.
For the last half hour, I think again, I don't like reading other people's content, but if it's interesting to us, it's going to be interesting to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And Reddit is the number one places things are stolen from.
Reddit's insane, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to start a Hard Yarns podcast Reddit so we can ask questions and have our own content.
It's a good idea.
However, just the questions got me thinking. Anytime I come across, it's weird, on TikTok they just film a Reddit and they put it on. So anytime I come across an interesting question and response, I've saved it. So I've got 3. I've got 4 different topics.
Okay.
And I think that will bring us to about an hour.
Okay.
Do you have anything before I lead this pod?
I got a heap of
the listener stuff.
Yeah.
Which we can end on the listener stuff. Or I can save one. One of them is scary theories that I can save for Cam McLaren.
I'll do a couple at the end of this one, and the rest we'll save for Cam.
All right.
So yeah.
So we sort of accidentally went into it, which was nice and organic. We were talking about how do you form a belief system. This question says, what is a little bombshell your therapist dropped in one of your sessions that completely changed your outlook? So this is from an anonymous Reddit account, but some of the answers were interesting. Now, I saved this ages ago, so I can't remember them, so they're going to be new to me as well.
Cool.
So anonymous, bombshells your therapist dropped in one of your sessions that's changed your outlook on life. Stop trying to get everyone to agree. When you need everyone to agree, the least agreeable person has all the power. So it says here that really changed my outlook on planning family events. So if you're trying to please everyone, if 9 out of 10 people are, whatever, all good. But that 1 out of 10 person is like, nah, we have to do it here. Then you're giving them all the power to decide what everyone does. Instead of the 9 people that would maybe they'd prefer Hungry Jack's.
Oh, certainly.
Or for our overseas listeners, Burger King.
Yes.
To McDonald's. But if that one person, and it's so reflective of society that the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yes.
And it is the biggest trigger for me.
Yes.
Our government listens to a small, I reckon, less than 1% minority on 90% of our issues because they make the loudest amount of noise.
It's a really good point.
Yeah.
Well, when I organise big events for me mates, like golf, there's a big yearly golf day that I organise every year towards the end of the year. And all I ever do now is the first time I ever tried to organise it, I said, where does everyone want to play?
Yeah.
No one could play. We had 4 people because you're trying to please everyone.
Yeah.
Instead of...
this is where it is.
This is where it is. This is the time. Can you play? And yes, of course, you're going to get 10 of the 50 guys can't play.
Yeah.
But then the other 40 go, yep, okay, we're in.
Yeah. And then next year, they see the 40 that had such a good time.
Yeah.
They'll go, oh, no, I'll fucking make that my
But then
priority.
there'll be some blokes who'll be like, nah, my kid's got this, or I'm on holiday or whatever, I can't come. But then there's 4 or 5 other guys who can play that year. It's just like, if you don't have anything on, it works. So.
That hell resonates for me as a people pleaser as well. Like, you want everyone to like you, you want everyone to agree, but sometimes people might like you more by you not doing what everyone likes because it shows strength of character.
So, and that's always ends up being the way. You're never going to please everyone, and by trying to please everyone, you usually displease a lot more people. So just go, right, this is what it is. If you can get there, I hope you can get there. If not, sorry, but I'm not catering.
Sounds like me trying to make a girl come. I'm trying to focus on pleasing one person. If you can get there, hopefully we can get there.
I'm just trying to get
there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So stop people pleasing, basically.
Yeah, I think that's a good way that we can sort of live by. I saw even like with that same, and this leads on to the next topic, which I'll say after we finish these. But like the difference between a boy and a man, I saw it posted on my feed. It was like a boy. The girl goes, where do you want to eat? I don't care, whatever you want. A boy will say that.
Yeah.
But a man will go, I have dinner reservations at 8 p.m. at Kings Park. I'll pick you up.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Alpha versus beta. Yes. Authoritative versus wishy-washy. So don't think of the relationship as over. Think of it as complete. That was fucking pretty powerful. And it says this person fundamentally changed how I was processing a tough breakup. So that's from Cassowary with a K.
Wow, that's a great one.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you're like,
That's a
that's
good
over.
one.
But it's like, no, it's run its course. It's completed.
Yes.
So-
Fuck. I'm thinking of 4 or 5 different, like, not just girls, like guys, mates, whatever.
Yeah.
That
Friendships.
has complete.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Even like high school, like
Yep.
high school mates, maybe your friends from high school, you never see each other again,
Yeah.
except for November 2nd, hopefully at the Breaky Wanneroo 20 year
Yeah.
reunion.
So good.
That's
That's
that friendship's complete.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I agree.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If life was a video
fun-
game, that's like a level or a side quest. That's you've done your side quest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You might see them around and have a bit of nostalgia.
yeah,
Like, oh, yeah.
nostalgia's in
You've
Inside
said-
Out too. It's such a funny character as well.
Really?
It keeps wanting to come out because she's young. They're like, no, we don't need you for another 15 years.
It's so good.
You are not responsible for your parents' emotional well-being. They are independent adults who have been on this earth for many more years than you.
Okay.
So you're not responsible for how your parents are feeling emotionally. Yeah, you can look after them physically, like, you know, if they need care.
Yep.
But they're an adult that have done life. They've done life 20 plus years more than you.
Yep.
So you're not responsible for them. If anything, they should be the ones leading you.
I
I don't know if I agree completely with this one.
How would that be put into
Let's say
scenario?
if I'm your dad.
Yep.
So call me daddy.
Daddy?
Yeah. If I'm your dad.
Yeah.
And you want to move to Melbourne.
Yep.
Or you've decided you're going to change jobs. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Your life's going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Or like, if
okay.
you move to
Yep.
Melbourne, I won't be able to see you.
Yeah.
That's not. That's on the parent to deal with emotionally.
And it's their belief system.
That's right. Yeah. Or if you're Muslim and you want to marry a Christian or vice versa, and your parents have a problem with that, that's up to them.
What do you think? I guess we touched on it. Like belief systems, like do they just feel right sometimes? Or do you think you can be convinced of them and then you just go with it?
Well, extremist terrorists will
Yeah.
have proven that your belief systems can be twisted and weaponized.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're a product of that environment, aren't you?
yeah.
It's the same with any religious upbringings.
I don't think beliefs are a feeling. I think morals are a feeling, like a gut feel.
I see that
I think a belief is formed from past experience and you trying to rationalize things in your head. Whereas I think your morally, you don't need to know if 5 people are fucking kicking a cunt's head in. Morally, you'd think this should stop, right? This
yes.
doesn't seem fair.
Yes.
But then if you find out he's just raped 3 kids, your belief system will go, well, fuck that cunt. He deserves it. So I think your morals are more that feeling of like you just know, but I think that beliefs will influence your morals, influence your beliefs, and vice versa. They're not mutually exclusive.
Oh, this is like
This
worthy
is
of a
completely
whole
riffed.
topic.
This is completely riffed. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the whole topic of belief systems that's a whole episode.
Yeah.
We could keep talking about.
Who would be an expert on belief? Maybe if we get a philanthropist, a philosopher in.
Well, it's actually how serendipitous. We're talking about self-limiting beliefs and how they. On Friday.
Yeah, nice. Well, there you go.
Okay. How perfect.
Yeah.
And he's going to talk about how they're formed.
Nice.
So,
perfect.
Wow, that is serendipitous.
Manifestation.
Okay, we'll stop talking about belief systems. So,
How was anger expressed in your household growing up? Were you allowed to show anger? At which point I realized I wasn't allowed to show any negative emotions whatsoever, especially not in reaction to negative emotions from my parents. So that's that kind of, we've spoke about this before, where like if you're always positive, you're not allowing yourself to have that negative experience. So
there's room to feel the emotion, isn't there?
yeah, you should.
Yeah,
everything exists with light and dark.
Yeah.
There's positive and negative. You need a balance.
Yes.
As a guide point. And again, Inside Out too.
Yeah.
It has all this in there.
And this
is my moral compass.
Yeah. And just because you can find the positive in the negative doesn't mean that the negative hasn't happened. You still should feel that, hey, that's not good enough, or that's poor, or that upsets me. All right, now how can I move forward.
Yeah.
It's not getting stuck within that negative emotion. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Not dwelling on it.
Not dwelling on it. Yeah.
Getting some resilience, turning a negative emotion into a victim fucking mindset.
And there's room for grief.
Yeah.
And having time. Sometimes time is the healer. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
That is
Because
frustrating.
you can't speed it up. But time is...
linear.
time is not linear.
Yeah.
Your mum is never going to be the parent you want or need, so stop expecting her to be and being mad that she isn't. That one resonated a lot because of my brother Chris, how he feels with my dad. He's like, why can't dad just be fucking? Why can't he be normal? I said, we don't have a normal dad, bro. That dad is how he is. It's up to us to figure out how to deal with it. Because
do you think all kids think about their parents to a point? To like little points?
I'm not sure. Like my brother's relationship with my dad is quite fractured.
Yeah, and that's maybe at a heightened level example probably. But I mean, like at points you probably go, oh, come on, like move on. Like move with the times, almost like that whole.
Well, I mean, both of us know like the stuff you've told me about your parents and like with mine, like we're not responsible for their emotional well-being, which comes back to the other thing. But also we need to be emotionally mature enough to realize that they're not going to be everything we need. They are what they are.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like we can't force them to be the person we need them to. Just like a partner, you can't force a partner or a friend to be what you need. It is what it is.
Or if you believe what I believe, they are exactly the person they are meant to be to make you the person you are right now. That's what I always believe. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think the hardest part, so this one says, your mum's never going to be the parent you want or need. You can replace that with your partner is never going to be the partner you want or need. So stop expecting, or the person you want or need them to be. So stop expecting them to be and being mad at them. So
they might be at certain times.
Yes.
But yeah, like in some other situations you want them to be someone else, but you can't have everything.
Yeah. If you want them or need them to be something else, like that's on you.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to figure out a way to deal with that.
Yeah. When it comes to partners or parents, it's having an understanding and communication.
Yeah. You can have a discussion. You can be like, hey, this is how it makes you feel. And if they're not changing, then if you continue to engage in that.
I often thought about like the idea of, okay, let's say I get married again one day and I'm with this person for the rest of my life, but there's one thing that you really disagree on.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He is actually a man.
How do you navigate that one topic? Do you just skate on thin ice around that one topic for the rest of your life? Or do you openly go, no, you dickhead, you're wrong, and like have a bit of a laugh about it and go...
it depends how triggered or how angry you feel over it.
Should I answer it? It's Wolfey.
Yes, definitely.
Wolfey, your dog. Wolfey. Hold on, wait a second. Roadcaster. Wolfey, your dog.
I just sent through the detail. You doing pods?
You're on the pod. What's going on?
We were going to call you anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, well, running a room sucks, hey? Just get that out in public record.
Maybe because
you don't... worst businesses, man.
Maybe because you don't let anyone know that it's fucking on, you dumb fuck.
Oh, mate. It's like running a paper round. You got to go door to door and put a fucking thing in everyone's mailbox. I'm like, what a shit business.
Well, we are in the 21st century. You can post on Instagram and socials and use Facebook marketing if you want.
Well, mate, it just depends how you operate. If you're on Tinder, right swiping every chick in the room, or you wait for the right one. We're waiting for the right crowd. We're not out there on every fucking dating app just begging. Please, just one date. I'm so alone. We're like, you'll find us, you little fucks.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, you need to tell people. Like, people know about Tinder because they told people about Tinder, bro.
Yeah, well, man...
It's you got to zoom out. You got to zoom out from the people, and you got to think of the product.
The best drug dealer doesn't fucking ring anyone.
That's a fucking good. Yeah,
if a drug dealer's ringing you up saying he's got good pills, guess what? He's got some shit pills he can't shift.
That's a bit.
If the drug dealer doesn't answer his phone, you need to find that guy. That's that.
No, he's in jail,
time, man.
Who
even cares anyway? Like, the goal is to just have a space. I've been at so many dog shit over mics, and that's what we're trying to make.
Well, this is where you need to get your views aligned, because I think that your room needs to have a unique perspective to it. So you need to add in something that everywhere else isn't doing, bro. So doing the squealing pig and doing the improv is such a good point of difference.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And the other thing is it's curated, right?
Yes.
So, like, it's not free to play. Like, you need a driver's license to get in there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're not going to have...
Should we start handing out comedy licenses? You got to do...
Mate, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a writing... But the thing is, man, like, last week, I managed to street hustle, like, maybe 12 people in.
Nice.
And I wasn't even trying, so I'll just pull in meth heads from the street.
Bro,
You should
let me tell you.
get your P plates, your pig plates
So
to perform.
Mate, you need pig plates.
Pig plates.
And the license is actually your THC license.
So
for
Wolfey-
marijuana, that's all we accept.
So
Same
Wolfey
thing.
wasn't happy with the white background.
Yeah.
So he went outside and just tore some posters off walls.
Nice.
And sticky taped them on the back wall and put rubbish bins on the back wall.
Okay.
Dude, I'm
and it
worried
worked.
that they
It's-
will.
The what?
They will have thrown that out, and I'm like, that actually is the background
Well,
now.
if you
I just
wanna-
need better tape.
If you want a different color background, I just ordered off Amazon. It's already at my house. 3 little park can lights where you can change like a blue or a yellow or a red.
Oh, mate, that's ideal.
Yeah, you can point it
That's
at the wall.
ideal.
It was only
Look,
$50.
there's one problem that we've got an alleyway right through the guts of the room. Like
Yeah.
the old way they entered in that thing at the back.
Yeah.
That throughway is a real disaster. It's a real nightmare to try logistically.
You just close it, bro, and put a sign, entrance to the right. No one's going to not come in because I have to walk 5 steps
No, but there's
right.
only one entry door. They've changed it now.
No, Ian said you can open up the gate.
We'll sort it anyway.
They can come through the gate,
Yes.
dude. Look, yeah, man, we're just teasing through it, eh? The thing is, it's mainly for Fringe. Fringe will pop once we've worked it all out. But it should be, man, who knows? Point of difference. The thing is, comedy's a dud business.
Yeah, well, for some.
I just think, like, it's just, do you know what I mean? You're a stripper or do you just run a factory? It's better off just raunchy's what you need. I need a non-alcoholic beer. That's what I'm really going to talk to Ian about.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well,
Before you go,
anyway, guys, come down or don't, whatever.
before you go,
We don't need you.
I want to get a little bit of Wolfey Nostradamus wisdom. What's your opinion on this one? I haven't read it out yet on the pod, but a person's counselor said to them, imagine them as an orange. Then consider that not all people like oranges. That doesn't mean that the orange is flawed in any way, not rotten, just that everyone has preferences. What's your opinion?
Dude, I had that idea, which was just because you don't like avocados doesn't mean you should stop them being sold at the shops,
That's
which
right.
is on the pivot of cancel culture. It's like some people like almonds, some people like that. And I think that's the biggest truism of all of life is that there's a split. There's 50-50 and half the population is one way and half's the other. And we just fight with each other, but it's sort of like, yeah, you're just seeing a different image the whole time. You know, you can yell at someone and go like, pineapple and pizza sucks. And I'm like, well, some people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what you realize is if you step outside of your ego, you can consider a world where with a different life and a different experience that you might actually have different values. Like it's possible to see the world in many ways. And I think you see it even in your life, right? When you have epiphanies and you change your perspective on something fundamentally and you realize, fuck, if you look at your diary at 16, how much of a dipshit you were, that's life, right?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Your taste for oranges can come and go.
Fuck yeah.
You can hit 50 and then suddenly like, look at a kid, hates olives, then loves them when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Or anchovies.
Yeah.
Like, you could be yelling at your dad going, anchovies fucking suck. But now at 60, you love them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need to be open to when you're fucking engaging with dialogue with other human beings is the possibility that you actually can change and at some point like oranges.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you can change at some point and enjoy running comedy rooms. That is a piece of wisdom from the Wolf Den, ladies and gents.
Good.
Oh, mate, well, that's what I'm just saying. I'm saying being open to change,
That's
dude.
right.
Yes, be open to the idea that something that you're opposed to might actually be something you like when you're older, man. No one likes lawn bowls until their fucking joints go.
I just looked
Love
at
that.
I just looked at the clock and it's 12:12 as well. That meant something good. That's very good, Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Dude, and that's the thing, man. Eat the orange, but maybe some people are shoving it up their ass. You don't know what they're doing. You can get highs out of a lot of things. They're probably putting marijuana in and smoking like an apple bomb.
Fuck yeah.
You just don't have perspective.
So when life
when
life hands you oranges, shove them up your ass.
Yeah, dude, that's it. That's it. You know, you say I don't like apples, and I'm like, have you made a bong out of one? Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We'll speak to you soon.
See you, mate.
See you, man. Bye.
Fucking hell, that cunt is like
genius.
He must have been the Dalai Lama in a past life. I ask him for an opinion, and he gives like the most well
thought out
philosophy. He should fucking study philosophy at uni.
I think he
could teach the course.
I don't think he needs to study it. I think he just is it.
Yeah.
He has a good genius. That's why his comedy's so good.
Mate, he's so good, bro.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple more, but I might save half because otherwise it'll go too long.
Yeah, that's all right. It's only been an hour episode, so keep going for a bit.
I need to leave it sort of 12:30-ish.
Okay, cool.
But this was really interesting to me. People who are addicts tend to get frozen at the time they started abusing drugs or alcohol because their focus is their addiction and not developing as a person. So a person who started drinking heavily at 13 and quit at 30 would behave a lot like a 13-year-old. That's like pretty prophetic. I've never heard that. I don't know if it's true or if it's a theory, but this is what a therapist told that person.
Okay. So sorry, read that again.
So I'll just rephrase it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If I was addicted to drinking from age 14, and if I give it up when I'm 25, that whole 11 years, I've been focused primarily on getting drunk, finding alcohol and drinking.
Yeah.
I haven't been focused on building myself as a person, developing traits. So when I give up the drink at 25, I'm going to behave like a 14-year-old when I started and my addiction was focused on that. Because that's where you stop growing and all you care about is that one addiction.
The addiction, addiction, sorry.
So I found porn at 21. That's why I'm quite developed. So that changes your perspective, I think, on some things. Because I like one of my friends used to work for, she works for NDIS, and like I would hear some of the calls I get, and they're acting like a bratty fucking 14-year-old. They're all on gear and shit, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? And reading that helped me understand why they act like a fucking spoiled brat. You know, even like imagine celebrities that are fucking divas. From a young age, they're addicted to that fame. Yeah. And their focus is on that fame, not as growing as a person. And when they're 25, 30, they act like a fucking 14-year-old sport brat. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Well, it's so important those years, those developmental years.
Yeah.
And they're just being, if they're being hijacked by an addiction.
Yeah.
Or by anything like fame or porn, anything like that. Yeah, it's a fucking...
all right. I'll leave those ones for now so it doesn't get too much. And
okay.
There's still like 8 left we can go through at another time.
Well, we got a random message that was just a message. Just, hey guys, just wanted to just watch your story with the Kahuna hoodie. Just jumped online and ordered one myself. Nice. The shirts look a bit too loud for me.
Too loud?
Loud.
Oh, look, too loud.
You wrote load, but you meant loud.
Yeah.
Loud for me. But the hoodies look great. I used your cord. Oh, sorry. I used your code. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Spell check.
Who's that from?
Mark Colthart. Nice. I used your code and hopefully it came through. You guys are great. Thanks, guys. P.S. I listen to the pod, not just watch the clips.
Yes.
So I love it.
Legend.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. And Kahuna, fucking shout out. We've got you some sales. Another one of my mates messaged randomly going, oh, this jumper looks sick. And he sent me a screenshot of it. I go, bro. And then you just posted the clip of us wearing and what we're wearing right now, Kahuna Blade hoodies.
Mate, it feels good, hey?
Yeah, I don't know what the material. I feel like a hot chick doing yoga or Pilates.
It is. It's
like my arms are doing Pilates.
It's like Speedos.
Yeah,
like I love it, man. It's so good. It's like it's good for sport.
So yeah, Reese Barr, who I'm going to play golf with after this, he's ordered one as well.
Very nice. What are you playing again?
Vines.
Oh fuck yeah! How bloody good.
I've got a listener message through as well.
Okay.
This one I read. I won't read all of it out, but just the first bit, because it does get pretty intense. I didn't even know that she listened. You guys really do help me a lot when I'm not okay. I just jump onto your guys' page and have a good old time listening to the shit you guys have to say. Just wanted to say thank you so fucking much, hey.
Love that. We get a lot of those sorts of messages, hey.
Letitia?
I got a good story as a message.
Yep.
We got, I don't know if I should put the names.
If they've DM'd you, probably don't. But if they've,
that's all right.
Yeah, people actually, because you've invited them to message to read it out.
Okay, so this is from JR Porter. I rode thousands and thousands of miles with my dad riding in a semi-trailer before he passed away. Every time he dozed off, I said to Dad, "You better wake up." Fast forward 10 years plus, and I was driving my semi-trailer. I dozed off and I heard someone say, "You better wake up, son." As I was going off the road. I looked over to my passenger seat. And there was my dad telling me to wake up.
Dad was dead? Wow.
Like a ghost of his dad.
Oh.
You never know how believable these are, but that's...
You gotta put up on a bed and wake up. You're crashing them. That's weird. My mum messaged my family group chat 2 days ago going, "Is everyone okay? I just heard a man's voice saying mum in my ear when I was driving."
What?
Yeah. So... I messaged, all good. Jamie messaged, all good. And Chris didn't message for ages.
Fuck. No.
And, he's dead.
Sorry about Chris.
Message back.
We have another one, but it was really sad.
I've got one which I think might be...
It's a really sad message about a dog.
Okay, that's fine.
You find it's
Morley.
Sad. Okay. Oh, I don't like reading these ones. About 6 years ago, my dog, Apollo... He was only turning 1 year old at the time, died of parvo. What's parvo?
When you're a hell pork hunt dog? Or a pavo?
Is it a...
No, I don't know what parvo is.
Must be a dog thing.
No. I know Pavlov's dog. It's where he couldn't get enough food, and every time a bell rang, he'd fucking bolt.
Started salivating.
Yeah, he died from dehydration. Pavo's dog.
Pavlov. Pavlonian conditioning, classic little riff there, Daniel.
I'm on fire today with the philosophers and theorists.
Yeah, so he at the time he died of parvo. It was heartbreaking to watch him suffer. The night before he passed, I comforted him and told him I would play with him in the morning. Then I fell asleep. The same night, I had a dream about waking up in the morning, and he was so peaceful, and it was real. I got out of bed, and it was excitedly ran to my dog, and he was still alive, energetic, and ready to play with me. It was like one of the happiest moments of my life, and he was not sick anymore. Then I woke up in real life crying, realized it was just a dream, and I went to check on him, and he had already passed. Apollo just didn't want to go without saying goodbye. We had our last little play. I still miss him so much to this day. That's a bit sad.
It's a bit of an Apollo creed.
That one's sad. I don't like that one. Thank you for sending that
Well,
message.
you can always get another Apollo, maybe 13 more. You can have Apollo 11, 12, Apollo 13.
Oh, my God.
All right, there was one, someone, I think a comment or an inbox to me saying about a dog one, where it was like, I lost my dog and I loved my dog. So he had a girlfriend and they shared custody of a dog.
Yeah.
And he was going to go traveling, so broke up with a girlfriend for like a long period of time. It's like 4 years. And he said it hurt him that he had to give her custody, but it was better for the dog.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, he had this dream where he saw his dog, but it was white and its eyes were stitched shut. And it came up to him and he was like happy to see it. And he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then when he woke up, I think he called his girlfriend to check and she said, nah, he's passed away. He was just euthanized yesterday at the vet.
Oh.
So he goes, he came to visit me one last time, even though it was like,
Mate, I had a little moment with Blue the other night, actually.
Yeah.
Where I just realised he's been my little best mate for so long through so much.
Yeah.
And I had this like moment of just like, he just wants to be loved. He doesn't want anything else. He just wants I'm his buddy. He's got no one, and I don't know. I just had, you know, sometimes you have those weird little moments, and I had it with him, and I was just like, oh my.
Drop him at doggy daycare one day. Just let him socialise a little bit.
Oh, make some friends, mate. He gets out a lot, and he gets a lot. Like I take him every single morning. We go to the coffee shop. He sees all the other dogs.
Oh, that's right.
Me and Scotty take him for a walk somewhere. We take him to the lake. He gets a lot, but he's not a neglected dog. another message. We won't go too many because you need to go, Delby. My boyfriend of my best friend died in an accident. She was devastated and overwhelmed by the fact that she could not say goodbye to him. She came to me that day and we were sitting by the balcony talking and both crying. We were living in Berlin at the time, so normally you cannot see many stars in the night sky. She said she needs a sign from him that we both looked up at. Then we both looked up into the sky. Right at the moment, a big shooting star went by. We were looking at each other and just knew it was him. Still getting goosebumps to this day thinking about it.
Nice.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. See, those ones I think
they're nice.
Yeah,
they could be a coincidence.
Could be signs. Could be coincidences. And because I'll tell this one as well next week with Cam, the ladybug story, because it didn't reply.
Oh yeah,
Dean Brown's ladybug.
Yeah.
So remind me if I forget.
Yes. Okay, that is a kind of a funny one.
I had a message from someone. They've kind of been like creepily hitting me up, sort of like, I love you. I want to. I'll just read it out because it's a good story.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on the request folder. Like,
okay, yeah,
I've seen it, but I'm not accepting.
Yeah.
One afternoon, my uncle died suddenly from a heart attack in his afternoon nap. He was fit and nowhere ready to depart this world anytime soon. My cousins took the body to the hospital, did all the formalities, and came back home about 6. It was dark and all the surroundings were too grim and had a different vibe than usual. They opened the door, and guess who was waiting at the top of the staircase? My uncle. And he only appeared for a fraction of a second. My cousins never spoke about this to each other or to anyone and acted as if they saw no one. But years after, they both confirmed it really happened.
I like them.
Your little uncle on the stairs.
How funny. Now, this sort of scares me, but also it's kind of cool. School mum came up to me yesterday and said, I just got to tell you, I've got a ghost story. And I'm like, oh, how many school mums are listening? Oh, no. But school mum came up to me and told me a real creepy one.
Yeah.
They've got a 2-year-old and she was telling me how she kept on saying there's a man in the corner of the room. And she said it on 2 different occasions and there's no one there. So she did a big smudge, sage. That all stopped. And then one day she was in the bath and she said, oh, it's so-and-so, which is the papa's name that is dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't live there, isn't living anymore. She'd never met, obviously, but knew the name.
Yeah.
And was a very sort of like, she turned around, no one behind her, but the fact that she's saying his name.
Yeah.
As a 2-year-old, there's just there's just no faking that.
Yeah.
And that just makes you go, ooh.
What about the one that I sent you on TikTok of the girl explaining to her mum that she's like, they're going to die, but that's okay. Did you watch that one?
I don't know.
Bro, it's fucking so creepy. The kid's 4.
Well, I can play it through the audio if it's got it. If you sent it to me,
I'll show you where it is. So it's Sunday, TikTok, Hard Yarns Podcast, inbox, Sunday, 12:29 p.m.
Okay, I'll keep going back.
It's after where I've written this guy's a bit dodgy. That's the Bashar guy.
Okay.
And it says creepy conversation with my 4-year-old daughter.
Okay. Creepy. Okay, yep. Here we go.
The world will begin again.
Uh-huh. What else did you say?
Other people will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, what was the other part?
What other part?
About everybody dying? What were you saying?
More people will come on the earth.
Okay. Why did you think that?
Because it's what the world begins like.
Oh.
When I die, I will come back and I'll be a baby and I'll have a different name.
Oh.
Okay.
And you'll have a different
Okay.
So that's what I said.
All right. Thanks, P.
It's what I have to say, and it's sad.
Yeah, it does sound sad.
Kid's
I
4.
gotta say something sad.
Okay.
So kid's 4. But I don't find that scary. I find that as a reincarnation. She's describing what happens with reincarnation as a soul.
Yeah.
She's like, when I die, I'm going to come back as a baby. You're going to come back, but you're going to have a different name. And she's like, everybody comes to Earth. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So people have taken it as aliens, but I find that as like souls being reincarnated.
I take it as that as well.
Yeah. But as 4 years old, like,
Yeah.
you can't fake that shit, bro.
No.
No way.
No one teaches that kid to talk like that.
Nah.
That's like,
Yeah.
Nah,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit creeped out by that one.
Well,
Not creeped out, but yeah.
Let's finish on a positive.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Now, the stuff we're going to do with Cam McLaren, my
Yeah.
brother Jamie just messaged, his haircut got cancelled. He could have come. So maybe I'll get Jam to do Delby's mini quiz, me versus you versus Cam.
Yep.
So with Cam, I've got scary theories,
Mm-hmm.
which are like theoretical scientific stuff.
Yeah. Off of Reddit.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a really good one.
Cool.
And that Cam will be all over that.
Yep.
And then weirdest stuff that's when you've gone to a friend's house and they do things differently to your family.
That's
a good one, eh?
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So
That's
if anyone's
fun, 'cause I want to know what you do differently than I do.
Well, but I'm talking more when you were a kid and you would visit their house.
Yeah.
You know, like my house,
can tell
you'd
you
always
one.
have to have your shoes off. You know, like
oh yeah, okay, yeah. Respectful things and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I
do you want
like
to say it or do you want to save it for next week?
no one that I won't bring up and
Yeah.
just a nothing is like pronunciation of certain things. So like,
Oh, you're a cunt.
no, I would say spag bog,
Oh yeah.
but it's spag, bowl.
bowl.
But I'd say
Yeah.
spag bog, and
Yeah,
they go,
yeah.
"What the fuck is spag bog?"
Yeah.
Oh, spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And they would
little
like,
things.
well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I never met anyone that was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
spag bog?
Well, like
they-
when I went to my friend's house and his dad, we had to do tickle time between 8 and 9, where his dad would come in and tickle us. That was a bit weird, eh? Is that normal or what? Branch is doubled over for listeners that can't see.
got me. Tickle the anus.
But we'll finish on something that's kind of positive, and we
okay.
probably won't talk about with Cam McLaren. But what's something that men can't get enough of from women? So not like the obvious shit like sex, you know. It's like, what's things do girls do that men can't get enough of? Like, we won't do all of them because...
Okay, we'll just give some list.
Because like, of time.
Yeah.
But that means we can save it
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like little sections. Men have read it. So what is something women do that you just can't get enough of? So the first one's like, when we're walking and she chooses to hold my arm instead of my hand, makes me feel like Superman.
I like it, but yes.
I like hold it.
It doesn't. It's not required, but yep.
The smallest innocent contact, placing a hand on my shoulder, putting your hand in my arm for assistance with a step, both have caused more chemical reactions in me than sex. These are people commenting back.
Mate, I'm telling you, soft touches are my...
Yeah, mine was like with the girl I used to see, like if I was driving, we used to joke that she was blind in a past life because she was always like, put her hand just on my face. And just like run her fingers down my face. I love that shit.
Okay.
Like, that was nice, bro.
While you're driving?
Yeah.
Can't
I
see.
mean, we hit a few people. We created a few ghost stories that people have written.
Okay.
So, is there anything else that girls do? I like...
Like, are we talking about like as a partner?
Just anything
Or
that a
girls.
girl... Just the girl does. It can be a partner.
I can tell you as a partner, like one of my favorite things that, like, I'm just going to go off like what Steph used to do was like if I'm working out in the garden and then she'd bring out like a platter and like a whiskey and a Jackson Coke.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
oh, that's mad.
Fuck you. That would be it would be nothing. I haven't asked for it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, here you go. You're doing the lawns and stuff. Here's a platter and crackers and some music and a whiskey after. And I was like, I love that. I like that with anyone. So any
active service,
any future partners, like that's what I like.
Everyone on here is just going nice and soft hugs.
Yeah.
Just hold me soft, lady. Hugs. It's so comfortable when a girl hugs you more than they think. Then there was another one that's again have both arms wrapped around your arm. Like when you're walking, like both of their arms. So like you feel like you could kill a dragon.
I definitely appreciate the arm thing though.
Yeah.
Holding the arm. Like I think that's like it feels...
But if you're not into them, then I'm like, get the fuck off. I remember on a first date with this chick, I took her to Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And like she went to hold my hand. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Touch my face and just look. Doesn't happen that often. Never really did, but there's a small moment when someone you love just looks at you and doesn't say a word because no words are needed.
Yeah.
And then lying down in their lap and then playing with your hair, rubbing your head.
Yep.
But for me, without everything else is sexual, so I don't want to talk too much about sexual, but I think like when they big you up in front of other people instead of like putting you down, like ripping you, when they talk about how fucking good you are in front of your friends, their friends or strangers, like it's wicked.
It's nice, hey?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, so if you are in a relationship, guys hate when you fucking... He never does the dishes. You're fucking always telling him. Keep that shit for your girlfriends. And even still, be careful what you tell your girlfriends because if you break up and then get back together...
Yeah.
all of the shit you've told them about how shit your partner is, they'll go, yeah, well, fuck him anyway. He didn't do this, and then you get back together, and then all your friends have learned all the shit stuff.
Yeah.
So be very selective about how much you write your partner off. Guys as well. Guys as well, both ways.
Yeah. I can't think of I mean, for me, it's definitely like the soft touch, but like all like everywhere, like. That must be a sensory thing, eh?
Yeah.
That's a sensory.
Mine links back to the thing you clipped up. Like, just laugh at my jokes. Be smart, cunt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you love that.
Just go, oh, yeah. Or help me write jokes. Help me, like, workshop some stuff. That's so specific to me.
I don't need...
I like when girls wear a nice perfume or have good, like, fashion.
I need near nothing. Nothing. Like, if you do something for them, I don't do it for the appreciation, but I love someone who's thankful and has a lot of gratitude and always thanks. Like, if you make dinner for them, oh, thank you so much. Like, maybe that's because that's what I was raised to do. Maybe that's a self-belief sort of thing. But if someone makes me dinner, I always go, thanks so much. Like, or, for example, or same with like if I'm doing the lawn.
Usually I just go, I'll pay for that on my card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you do get appreciation sometimes, and whether it's like, the partner bringing out a drink and some food, that's appreciation.
Yeah, it's mad.
I love that. Like like a little just acknowledgement.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You know what? Actually, that reminds me, man. It was weird to me, like when I was with Tani.
Yeah.
We had friends coming around. Mm-hmm. She's like, we have to go buy like food and cheese and crackers and shit. I'm like, what? We don't have to do that. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she goes, yeah, you have to fucking put a spread on. I'm like, no, you don't, man. These are my mates. So we don't have to do any of that shit. She's like, trust me. So like she did like a full spread. I was like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's mad.
So good.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah. You do that. And
I'll get the drinks.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a hell shock to my system. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like charcuterie, man.
Well,
so charcute to me.
All my mates met Grace the other night.
Oh, we've said her name.
Yeah.
We're going to say Grace.
Yeah, we're saying Grace.
Before we do every pod, we say Grace.
They met her the other night. And
amazing.
This was
Grace.
Actually a big thing.
Yeah.
I actually really liked it. I was being a good bloke and just making sure didn't feel alone in like meeting all these new people. And then at a certain point, she came up and was like, you can go hang with your mates. I'm okay
love that.
Like,
love that.
And
that is one of my number one things I look for is if you bring
I nearly got down on one knee then. I was like, what? Yeah. I still stuck around. And then eventually said, no, I'm playing shuffleboard with me mates.
I froth that.
Like, you go play with your mates.
It's so good. If a girl can like hold their own without you having to look after them, fuck, I love that shit, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's
good.
Great.
That was a nice little... You did something. You ticked the box.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
But yeah. Those little... I like that. Things that...
Listeners, we've listened to a marriage, a divorce, and now we have a blossoming new relationship.
It's an open
relationship?
It's an open... No, it's me now finally opening up to people. And opening up to letting anyone... Not anyone, but letting someone in. So it's good. Feels good.
Yeah, just don't do it with your butthole.
Yeah.
Unless you want to put an orange in there.
Yeah. Don't know if I should have said your name, Grace. Sorry. But don't go stalker. But yeah, anything you want to plug, Delby?
Yep, so I'm really stoked. Much just messaged.
Oh, no.
I go, just listen to the call. He goes, were they funny? Because I didn't reply. He goes, could you tell it was me the second time? Of course, can't. I'll just voice note him back.
That's so funny.
Of course we could, Watto. You've nearly got the Australian accent, but yes, we could tell it was you, bro.
Hold on a second. We just got someone from Mexico message.
No, sorry, that's a private message about what I ordered.
Okay. Oh, and they've sent a
little
video.
Bit of cocaine.
Okay, so it's a real short one. Your podcast is pretty cool. I'm from Mexico, and I've got a story. I'll share the first pic, and tomorrow I'll send the voice note. All right. Well, you're not going to get that, but let me.
Well, let's save it for the cam one, and we can open with it if it's good.
Oh, fucking Jesus!
To be continued.
Oh, to be continued.
Let's do it because this is a good clip with a reaction.
Well,
show me that photo again.
There you go. Have a look at that photo. What is?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! What is that?
Wow!
Oh,
that's a hand.
Oh, and now the.
All right. Well, we're going to have to clip up the explanation when they send it through.
Yes.
So there is a ghostly hand or a dead body because it is Mexico.
It's just a dead body. What the fuck? Yeah. I've screenshotted the picture of it so I can overlay it. What is that?
Okay, so to be continued, and if we're wearing different clothes for the second part.
Yes. Anyway,
we'll have to remember these. All right, we better roll. But I'm stoked that Mike G has agreed to come on to teach comedy night in Melbourne.
Sick. That's good, man.
So, if you're in Melbourne, July 6th, there's about 40 tickets to Brisbane Teach Comedy Night. Mm-hmm. I'm on at the lounge this weekend, emceeing all weekend. I've got a strategy to get other people to sing karaoke.
Okay, cool.
Because you know how that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Johnny makes you sing karaoke.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
Your MC. Yeah.
So I'm going to go, guys, VIP tables, send forward your two. You've won a prize. Send forward your two most.
I love it.
Yeah, but the two biggest personalities, send them forward to collect their prize.
Yep.
And when they get there, I'm like, this is your prize. We're singing Sweet Caroline, and I'm going to hand them the mic and fuck off.
That's good.
So frame it as a positive experience.
I love it. Yeah.
So either do VIP or I'll just go front row. Who's got the biggest personality?
Yeah.
You've won. You've
won a prize.
Or I'll just go, guys, we've got a prize to give away. It's actually seat 3 and seat 9. And I'll just go, that's you. And that's you.
I love it. Come up. Yeah. So that's great.
I thought of that when I couldn't sleep last night.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about how that MC, like some of those things feel awkward.
Yeah.
But
I hate that.
Yeah.
And if you want to come down to Froth on the coast and do the quiz on Tuesday night.
Sick.
Tuesday the 24th, I think it is. Or 25th, and then July 24th or 25th.
Have we done a
Wednesday.
pod since I did your quiz and I made that quiz way too hard?
I don't think we have. But fuck, it was hard. I went and competed.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I'm
so smart.
I'm so smart.
Smartest.
I did Anyway, I did it way too. It's too hard. What do I have coming up? I can't remember. Just come to Squealing Pig every Thursday night, and we'll try and make a different show every single week, so you can come all the time. Yeah. Oh my God. The mother-in-law must need a lift home from the airport, and didn't tell me she was coming home today. So,
alrighty.
Sick.
Cool. Jump on the Patreon, and thank you.
Easy.
Thanks for your time and your contributions.
Hooroo.
Bye.